What is the fog of war? How do great military leaders overcome it? And more importantly, what does it mean for business? Carl von Clausewitz, one of history's greatest military strategists, coined the term fog of war in his 1832 book on war. He described it as the uncertainty that clouds every decision in battle, where most factors are unknown, and even known factors can be unreliable. I studied that book as a cadet at West Point, where we dissected his ideas and debated what that fog really meant. Over the years, as a student of history, an Army officer, a project manager, a corporate executive, and now as a consultant, I've seen that same fog in every arena I've worked, whether it is a cutting-edge R&D team, a massive industrial factory, or a newly funded startup. And I've learned that surviving isn't about choosing between rigor or innovation. It's about embracing both simultaneously. That insight has proven just as true across a wide range of industries and companies of various sizes. But how do you embrace both rigor and innovation? I've seen it come from balancing three powerful contrasts: planning and adaptation, alignment and autonomy, control and creativity. The first time that fog of war really resonated with me was during a Cold War era training exercise called Team Spirit, a massive US-South Korea drill designed to simulate full-scale war conditions on the Korean Peninsula. We deployed from Hawaii in tropical 70-degree weather straight into a Korean winter, sub-zero, bone-chilling. Equipment failed, vehicles failed, radios lost power. We had to warm batteries up using body heat. At one point, communication went down completely, and I had to move my team outside the perimeter to find higher ground and reestablish contact. It really underscored for me that you need both rigor to guide you and innovation to keep you moving when the plan breaks down. But that was only the shadow of real operations. To see all three principles in practice, we need to look at history's most complex mission, D-Day. June 6th, 1944, the Allied invasion of Normandy. 160,000 troops, 5,000 ships, 13,000 aircraft, 5 different beaches, 2 years of preparation, tide charts, moon phases, full-scale mock-ups of German defenses. And yet, as Clausewitz predicted, the fog descended. Weather shift, paratroopers landed off target, radios failed, units mixed together on the beaches. The meticulously crafted plan did not survive first contact. But what emerged was rigor and innovation embraced simultaneously through three contrasts: planning and adaptation. Planning. The preparation for D-Day was staggering in scale and precision. Planners analyzed tide charts and moon phases to pinpoint the landing window, built replicas of German defenses for rehearsals, and coordinated land, sea, and air forces down to the minute. It was one of the most meticulously planned operations in history, the epitome of rigor. Adaptation. When chaos hit, wrong landings, scattered units, soldiers improvised. Paratroopers who dropped miles from their targets formed ad hoc groups and attacked whatever objectives they could find. Infantrymen diverted around impassable terrain and cleared unexpected obstacles using whatever tools they had. Those adjustments on the ground kept the assault moving when the plan no longer matched reality. Alignment and autonomy. Alignment. Every soldier knew the objective: secure the beaches, establish the foothold. This clarity came from what the military calls commander's intent, a simple statement of what must be achieved and why it matters. Even when communications broke down, everyone knew the purpose. Autonomy. With radios dead and units scattered, small groups acted independently but toward the same goal. Commander's intent gave them the confidence to improvise without waiting for orders. Control and creativity. Control. The largest amphibious operation in history required synchronized timing. Naval bombardments, airborne drops, beach landings, all meticulously sequenced. Creativity. Amid chaos, troops repurposed equipment, turned obstacles into cover, and found unexpected routes inland. Structure created space for innovation rather than stifling it. D-Day succeeded not because it avoided uncertainty, but because leaders embraced rigor and innovation simultaneously. The stakes in business are different, but the fog, the friction, and the need for both rigor and innovation are the same. I've seen these seem contrast, planning and adaptation, alignment and autonomy, control and creativity, play out in factories, R&D labs, and fast-growing startups. Let me show you 3 examples. Planning and adaptation. Planning. A global chip maker needed to build a factory in China. Lead time for equipment that was new would have killed the schedule and blown up the budget. Planning. We helped design and manage a massive tool reuse program, coordinating over $300 million tools across multiple regions and suppliers. Adaptation. We tracked logistics, validated compatibility and upgrades, and adjusted constantly as the situation changed. Shifting timelines, shipping delays, and real-time challenges on the ground. The result, over $20 million saved and a factory ramped on schedule. Planning paired with adaptation under pressure. Alignment and autonomy. Another client, a Fortune 500 semiconductor equipment manufacturer, struggled with silos. 9 business units across 7 regions. Brilliant R&D teams, but inconsistent tool installations, rising costs, and slow response times. Every business unit, every region felt they were special, each convinced that their way was the right way. Aligning them was difficult. Alignment. We built an enterprise-wide program management office and unified systems across all regions and functions. We applied what in the military is called commander's intent, and in business we call strategic alignment. Clarity on the mission and why it mattered, combined with personal connection to the outcome. Autonomy. We gave them the core structure, but also offered controlled autonomy, so they could adapt to local conditions while still staying consistent with the rigor of the larger system. The outcome? Installation cost down 40%. Utilization increased 15%. Response times 10 times faster. $40 million saved year over year. Strategic alignment gave purpose. Autonomy unleashed ownership. Control and creativity. We saw this at a next generation battery company developing AI-driven energy storage tech. The CEO and CTO were frustrated. The team struggled with basic discipline, inconsistent procedures, spotty documentation, and missed handoffs. At the same time, leadership worried that the scientists felt stifled and weren't bringing forward their most creative ideas. Control. We introduced lightweight planning, more structured design of experiments, and disciplined documentation to bring order without stifling innovation. Creativity. We didn't just give them permission to innovate, we trained them how to do it. Skills for structured brainstorming, rapid prototyping, and capturing lessons learned so that creativity could scale rather than disappear in chaos. Teams learned to connect breakthroughs to milestones and move faster while preserving flexibility. We saw that same dynamic in a fast-growing startup. Sales promised anything to win deals. Operations was burning out trying to deliver. Control. We mapped processes, set expectations, and built real-time visibility into capacity using Smartsheet dashboards. So both sales and ops could see promises versus actual resources at a glance. Creativity. With that visibility, teams adapted to real-time challenges, finding creative ways to delight customers without burning out. Operations could see what was coming. Sales could more easily make confident commitments. The combination of structure and freedom allowed the business to scale sustainably. Looking across these stories, military and corporate, the pattern is clear. Leaders who thrive beyond the binary by embracing rigor and innovation do three things consistently. Plan in detail, build the structure, anticipate risk, do the hard work up front, align on purpose, ensure everyone knows what must be achieved and why it matters and how their part contributes to success. Unleash creativity. Trust teams to adapt and innovate in real time and train them with the skills to do it well, giving them tools, methods, and confidence to create structure. Miss one and you tip into chaos or stagnation. Embrace all three simultaneously, and rigor and innovation reinforce each other. Clausewitz wrote about the fog of war. He described it as the uncertainty that clouds every decision in battle, where most factors are unknown and even known facts can be unreliable. We face our own fog every day, in boardrooms, in startups, in classrooms, and at home. The details are different, but the principle is the same. Uncertainty is inevitable. And in that uncertainty, the leaders who thrive are the ones who embrace both rigor to create clarity and innovation to find a way forward. The three contrasts we've explored, planning and adaptation, alignment and autonomy, control and creativity, are how you do it. They're how you embrace rigor and innovation simultaneously in real life. The question is, when your plan falls apart, will your team freeze or adapt? Will they wait for orders or act with purpose? Will they choose the or will they embrace the and? The best leaders don't stand on one side of the divide or other. They build the bridge. They lead beyond the binary by embracing rigor and innovation.